And I just share that as that is part of our triggers. We have conditioned triggers in there, right? Like you said, Patricia, to just be aware of. I just honor what the word of the day can do.
For me, it's the whole serenity prayer. More so than just the single word, I guess.
Great. Would you like to share it?
Share the prayer?
Sure.
Yeah. To accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yes.
Where would you say that came from? Like through you? Was it from your head or your heart?
Some of both. I guess in dissecting it, it also feels like some of that doesn't feel true either.
Interesting.
Like, what cannot change? What have I decided in my life that I cannot change?
Wow.
And if I do decide anything fits in that category, then I fall into the victim, as I was saying earlier.
Mm.
Me too. You want to try it again?
What, rewriting the prayer?
I was thinking re-saying it, just redoing it, re-speaking it, and I'd love to just, here's my point, I'd just love to hear it from your heart.
Just, God grant me the courage to change the things I can. I don't know. I can't get there on the second. Accept the things I cannot change. Then you are speaking into existence that there is actually a list of things that you cannot change. I mean, and when in fact, and this languaging is coming from another channel favorite of mine, Paul Selig, but it is everything is up for reinterpretation, to be seen from a different, to be re-seen is how he says. So how I would say it is to be seen from a different perspective. If there is anything that I feel that I cannot change, God grant me the elevated perspective to see it from a new way, in a new way. to see it in new light, from a new angle, with a broader understanding. And the wisdom to know when to ask for that. What I'm seeing in my mind is, and what I often feel is that raising, that literal, okay, you're looking at it from here, we're going to move you 3 feet up in the air. Now look and see, because you can see so much more from a higher place. So God grant me the courage to change the things that I can. I don't even know what the word was, but the knowledge, the understanding of when to request a higher perspective and the wisdom to know the difference. Or it's not about, see, because it doesn't become just two things. It's not just what I can change and what I cannot. It is recognizing when it is time to see situations from a higher perspective and asking for divine inspiration to get there.
I noticed this time you left out the second sentence.
Yeah, I couldn't even remember the words.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Yeah, to accept the things I cannot change. No, it's not about accepting the things I cannot change. And you know what? I'm okay with this being public. I'm not saying anything. Much of what I feel comes through me is not my own. This is even as I was saying that to you, I hear things like this and I'm like, where's this coming from? It's actually, I'm thinking to myself, this is actually pretty good advice. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, about that.
Well, I couldn't tell you. You needed to tell yourself, right?
And then you can go down that rabbit hole. Maybe I've imagined this entire thing rather than actually owning who I am and the brilliance of who I am. I've made it up to be that I'm channeling some, multi-dimensional collective unity consciousness from self of those people who are witnessing what I'm saying, because I'm not willing to just stand up and say, I'm telling you people, this is what we need to do, and owning it and saying, this is my original content.
Wow.
I know. I love it. Oh, and we got
goodness.
Shaman Ian is in the house too.
Hi.
Morning,
Hi,
Ian.
my man.
Morning.
I'd love to introduce you to Patricia. She's with us for the first time this morning, trying to figure us out.
Yeah.
Hi, Patricia.
Good morning, Ian. Or I don't know. Is everyone here in the United States?
No, Ian's in the UK.
Yeah, I'm in the UK. It's nearly 2 p.m. here.
Well, it's not quite 8 a.m. for me. I'm here in Houston, Texas.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Ian, Patricia just gave us a mic drop. So just before you entered the room. So we're kind of sitting in that. Oh.
I had mentioned Paul Selig, and somebody made like a groan. Do y'all know Paul Selig? Do you like him?
Yeah, I'm very aware of Paul Selig.
I love him. And shortly before I found his work, I saw a license plate that said Kingdom, but they had changed the G to an 8 or something like this. But I saw that and I thought, there's great significance there. And then 2 days later, I heard him speak, and that's what he speaks. That's his channeled information, as you probably know, is so much about the kingdom, the kingdom, the kingdom.
Yes. Yeah. Which kind of runs contrary to my upbringing, which was that all scripture is finished and there won't be any more. Which was fine until I started realizing that I was writing it, the new stuff. Kind of going like, okay, there's something that doesn't add up.
Well, the other thing I wanted to share on this notion of expanding and seeing things from higher perspective is there's a beautiful piece of art that I had printed out and had up on my wall of the image of a man and a woman with the foreheads together. And the text above said, "We are gods with amnesia." And it was beautiful, this beautiful rainbow around them. And it's awesome. It's such a beautiful piece. I like to paint, and I just felt this overwhelming urge to paint over the second line of "with amnesia." And I was just like, this craziness, why do I have this here? And I have a friend who could have brushed it out with graphics. And I'm like, no, it's much better that I do this, that I take the amnesia away.
Yeah.
And that was like 2 days ago. And I tell you what, looking at that now is dramatically different than even the text of thinking that we are gods with amnesia. Maybe most of the other world is, or maybe most of the world is. Probably, I know they probably are. But I'm looking for, and I'm appreciative of all kinds of people who realize that no, in fact, we are just gods, period.
Yeah. But I don't know about you, but I'm remembering more every day.
Yes.
With respect to that. So
Yes.
the amnesia is going away.
And I remember telling a friend of mine a couple of years ago, I was just sometimes these ideas will come in and they'll seem so clear and I'll just feel so high and light and have so much clarity. I was telling him, I have figured out the antidote for this amnesia thing. I figured it out. And he was just laughing at me, and those moments of clarity can fade, but then the waves come back in and they're tending to settle more now. And that seems so much less obscure or far away. It is here present. We are gods. I mean, without offending anyone, I mean, what if I could get a whole room full of people to actually believe that and choose to mirror that back and forth to each other? How great would that be?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
We're in church. This is Sunday, right?
Yeah. You know that, Patricia, that graphic you were talking about where these two people have their foreheads together. Okay. That's communion. That's the word that I put in today.
Yeah.
That melding thing. And we're not just talking about a mind meld. We're talking about beings melding.
Right.
Together. And what's interesting is when we combine what we hear, when we combine our genius, when we combine all that we've been given, all that we've received, it just multiplies like crazy. It goes Fibonacci.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was like one of the greatest discoveries we had in this room when somebody said that. Is like, oh, we're creating something. We called it an organism. We just get together and create an organism every day that kind of has a life of its own, by combining what we had in the moment. And it takes off and it continues. It continues to affect us individually, and it affects the people who have been in this space with us before as well. So it doesn't even matter if you're here or not. You're getting the effect of it, right?
I was going to say,
because it's all energetic,
Yeah. And the fields, the morphogenetic field, that was another point of contention between Chris and I, the way that he described it, the way that I would often suggest that it was. Anyway, let's focus on positive things.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is the
see-
third structure that I haven't spoke about yet, is that we listen and speak to yes and. So not only equal, right? One first tenet is we're equal. Equally what? Equal gods, yes. Equal genius, yes. And the third one is yes and. What's next? What can we do with that? See, yes is expanding, and we're just conditioned to say no. So those are the things we listen and aim at. That's what we practice. And when you spoke, Patricia, that people like from the future are probably helping guide us, my truth, which is a tingle in my shins, went off.
Mhm.
And I hadn't thought of it that way before, but it was like, well, of course, silly. That makes so much sense. So I honor you for bringing that message to me.
Well, thank you. Thank you. On that note, I was doing a presentation in January of 2022 at a group full of people that were looking for jobs. I was at a church, and I had thought that I knew what I was going to talk about. And what started coming through was some content from the Wingmakers. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
More, please.
It's a time capsule that was discovered, and the artwork that is in there. There was even a special branch, even more undercover than CIA, the NCA. I'm forgetting all the initials, but it was a government excavation, and they created a whole arm of government to look into all of this. And one of the men that was doing it ended up defecting because in his interaction with the artwork, he was communicating with and could tell that some of these wing makers were coming in through these portal paintings, and they were conveying information, and so much of what they were doing was raising their IQs and raising their intellect and their ability to understand and expand. And all of that, what I just said, I knew all of that, but I was not intending to talk about any of that at this church group. But what started coming through was I mentioned them once, and then I felt like this flurry of like excitement. Oh, she said our name. And then I was really thrown off because it's a room full of like 50 people staring at me. I'm off of my speech, and I just thought, oh my goodness, now where am I going to make sense? How am I going to tie all this back together? Why am I talking about time traveling artwork, And
This is
So-
I just see this in a church basement, right? You're doing your thing. This is not Sunday school, ladies and gentlemen.
they didn't invite me back. Not that it was bad in any way. I just think it wasn't as cohesive as a message to that audience as I had planned for it. But that experience opened me up to better define what it is that this collective entity that speaks through me is. And I do feel that it's well defined in that way. It is a unity consciousness of the higher selves of the people who I'm here to share this information with. And that's who it will resonate with. And if it doesn't resonate, such as whoever was in that room, that actually, you know what, I have to say this. There were plenty of people in there, perhaps the higher ups and the ones that make decision on who speaks at these events, that maybe didn't understand it. But I had a number of people come up to me, like 8 people, ask for my card and tell me that they knew something about the Broken Arrow project and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is really cool. But it freaked me out a lot. And, but that always does come back to me is, yes, why wouldn't we as a people want to hear from and be inspired by, because some of what I'm thrown off with in channeled information is, who are these entities and why are they quote helping us? I've heard some of Mike Dooley's stuff, and while it's inspirational, I'm like, who are these? I mean, these entities, these collectives, some of them have never been in human form. We could just be like this little Girl Scout experiment to see, well, let's go over there and see if we can find somebody that we can give some information to and see how we can, you know, create some ripples and waves in that planet over there and see if we can liven things up, since they're a counterpart to us and they're kind of cramping our style. You know, I'm saying that's, you do begin to wonder why do we take information, channeled information, from entities that are, so many of them have never been human? So I think this whole experience is reminding me that if I position it in that way, perhaps it's even more received, or more well received, or will be received by a new, with new ears or something like this, rather than saying that I'm channeling Archangel Michael or whatever. Not that there's anything bad with that. It's, that is not what comes through me.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and even if there's one person in a group of people that is ready to receive that, then you've done your thing. You obeyed it. You obeyed what came through you.
Yes. And they could be the piece of popcorn that reaches, who knows, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here's how, because I've been in similar situations, and here's a perspective that I've gained from it, is that, okay, here I'm in a situation. I've been invited to speak. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to channel it. You know, I'm just going to channel what comes and take it slow. And if it lands, it lands. But that's not my thing. I'm just obeying. I'm just obeying what I've been given and the spirit that it was given to me in. And it takes a lot of guts to do that, actually, because,
yes,
you know, they could. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've done that in previous lives and had rotten eggs thrown at me, and might even been burned at the stake, for all I know. But you know, but that's what's required. That's what's required in humanity right now, is for those messages from the other side to get through in some way or another. And the only way it's going to happen is through human beings. And I guess that would be me.
How's Ian this morning, this afternoon?
I'm good. I'm just listening. Interesting conversation.
Thanks for being here.
Ian already knows that he's gifted that way. Right, Ian?
I think with me, like, I was going to ask Patricia, like, I think I'm channeling something, but then it's like, is it my mind or am I channeling? How do you learn to differentiate between the two? Just get into your heart.
She may have stepped out.
Oh, no, I didn't know if you were asking me a question. I thought you said you were gonna ask me, but then you were. Ask me again, you saying sometimes you wonder if what is coming through is either your channel or your own mind making things up?
Oh, yeah, how do you know when you're channeling and when it's your mind?
Okay, I was just speaking about this a little bit earlier in this chat is, much of the information has been conveyed through me and around me for so long that I do feel like a lot of it's become what I would call my own. However, when the languaging that's coming through is we, and or they'll refer inside my mind, it's just, for me, it's a nuanced difference between my thoughts, which sound different in my mind, feel different, and the stream of words that are coming out of my mouth that are not, I'm not connecting those sentences, if that makes sense to you. And it has taken years of discerning, okay, what is mine and what is theirs. But it's very clear when they're using things like we're here to share this with you, and or there was a time when Patricia used to think this way, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm sitting here talking about myself, but I know that difference now. I'm not talking about myself. That is the information coming through from the other, from the collective. It feels different. The energy of it feels different. And there's also something that we're not on camera now, and I'm not really ready for camera anyway. I was saying I'm here at a friend's house, but my channeling comes with hand mudras oftentimes, not always. But there are some cues that I have that they're saying that we have, that like my hand will come to my throat, tap it quickly, and or it's almost like I'm doing surgery up around my head and my brain and things. And so when that's happening, I'm 100% certain that this is definitely not my imagination, because it's like something else has come inside of my physical vessel and is animating it. And what I'm being reminded of is those hand mudras are not just mudras. They are there for those who are interested in observing, because there is information being conveyed that cannot be conveyed through language. So it's an adjunct, it's a part of an integration and activation, modifications, attenuations, adjustments, attunements, all of those things wrapped into the words that are spoken through me, as well as the movement and the interaction of those observers who are seeing it and receiving it. And what I'm hearing, what I feel like they're saying, if you will please give us a stage, and the stage does include a screen, you're going to see how this information interacts with and lands. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. No, it sounds familiar. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, this has been a pleasure, gentlemen. I'm going to log off now. I think this was the end of the window, right?
We go for another hour.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was a 2 hour. No?
Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, I started at 5 my time, so I've got one more hour left.
Oh, okay. So I thought I was coming in at an hour into this thing, because that was, I thought 6 to 8. So it's 7 to 9 for me. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to stay, Patricia.
But yeah, you can head out too. Your choice.
Okay. I'm in a mid-rise in downtown Houston, and I mean, I didn't even tell anybody where I'm going, but I have my phone if somebody needs to call me, I guess. In other words, I'm in the conference room in a building. I'm not.
Yeah, it sounds like a big room echo that you have in there.
Yeah, beautiful surroundings, and though I'm looking at all these, it's kind of nice, Houston, downtown, without all the noise. Everybody's still sleeping.
Mhm. Yeah, and we are at 6 o'clock at the top of the hour, 1 hour in. Usually, what we've been working on here is infinite consciousness. So Joe has brought in is like, what would it be like to practice, to guide, to help people discover their infinite consciousness? We'll call it God, right? That they are God, such as you were speaking about. Well, how would we do that? What would that be like? And so the last hour from my time, 6 to 7, is we focus on that. And today is day 7 of it. No, it's becoming genius, allowing your greatness, and pursuing your gifts. Because I feel as if we've put up so many barriers around us. We have to be this way. We have to do it this way. We have to be that, because we're in so much fear of judgment. That it's hiding, it's limiting, it's not allowing the true messages, the true genius, the true greatness and gifts. And when we can learn how to do that, when we can become that, that is where our peaceful, that's where we can be at peace with ourselves.
I would like to add something. I want to ask your guys' opinion. I'd say the last month or so, I feel like I've been seeing from a higher perspective, and I feel like it's hard to explain. I just feel like I'm seeing this as all an illusion. It's all a play, nothing's real. And I've just been feeling like if it's nothing's real, it's all an illusion, it's all a play, what's the point? And I've just been feeling a little like, do you know what I mean? If it's all fake, we're all one, what's the point? I've had that feeling the last
Yes.
few weeks, like,
Oh, I have that all the time. What is the point of all this? Oh my gosh.
like I've just been seeing everything from a higher perspective. And it's like, it's all fake. It's what am I doing in this meat suit? It's fake. I've just been feeling like, a bit disorientated, I guess.
Thank you. What is true for you?
I don't know. I've just been feeling more in my body, I guess. And it just feels really heavy. And it's like, oh, what am I doing in this? What am I doing in this bag of meat and bones? It's not real.
Mm.
Why did I choose to come here? What am I doing here?
Yeah. I think it is a very powerful question. Because you think it's like, when I answer that, then it does become real, right? And so then it becomes, who's the only one that can answer it?
Myself.
And I think that's a great place to be experimenting with what could it be.
I just think I'm seeing past the veil more and I'm seeing, so yeah.
I'm with you, man. And if you, so we have to look, I think what I tend to do is I look at, well, what do we have? What is it that I've got? We've got feelings, right? So it's like the experience. I think we're here for the experience. Because if we're just energy that's formless, right? It's like, oh, I wonder what that would feel like. What is it that we have, right? That gods want, that entities, that spirits want. We've been talking about it. They need us for something, right? Huh. I wonder what that could be. Lines right up with genius, your unique genius for this place, for this time. And the time we have left. About as far as I've gotten, Ian, is that it appears to be love, joy, expanding emotions and feelings, experiences. But in that, I also know that there's got to be the negatives, the downs, the sides of it. It's like, oh, they're all there. So let's together we can just sit in. What could my genius be? And just take silence and explore your heart. We can do it alone or we can do it together.
This realization that your soul inserted into this timeline, into this particular time and space, is a necessity for some cosmic reason.
And I know I chose, well, we chose everything. It's like The Sims. Oh, I want to be male, I want to be white, I want to live in the UK. I know I chose everything. So
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like to me, that's the importance of silence, is to get something from nothing, because that is everything. Like, why did I get that? Doesn't make sense usually.
Oh,
The answers are there in the etheric. That
yeah.
space cannot be seen and touched, but they're there. So it is just your ability to vibrate and or change your frequency to then draw in the answers that you are willing to receive at that moment.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think it shows up differently for everyone. I can just speak for like how I experience it. It's like it's almost like I get a picture and then I'll get an action. And it's like, oh. And like then I get curious about it. Like, what could that mean? Where could that be going? What could that be? What am I doing? Right. And it just leads to another one, and another one. What I would say is, before that, I would question what it was that I was getting, and the questioning would stop right there, because I was expecting, right, when I asked this question and I opened it up, I was expecting for it to be delivered a nice little note that had all my answers in it that I could just sit there and read and be like, okay, yeah, that's what it is. Someone was going to tell me, right? Someone's going to come down here and tell me that that's what I should do. Like, I'm just going to believe that any more than what happens now, right?
I do see it from a higher perspective, like the chronic illness logo. Like I don't really define myself for chronic illness anymore, but I know I chose it, and I feel like I chose it because it's forcing me to stay indoors more, to stay in the house, and I'm not socialized as much as I would have if I didn't choose it. So it's forcing me to come within more. So it's happening for me because it's forcing me to, not force me, but it's enabling me to actually find out who I am and come inward. If that makes sense. Like I'm looking within instead of looking externally.
Mhm.
Where I feel like if I was 100% healthy, that I would be out there and looking out for the answers, but because I'm staying within more and not put myself out there as much because of the chronic illness, it's like I'm coming within myself more and find out who I am, if that makes sense.
Yes. And even if it didn't,
It makes sense to me, so yeah.
good. My point is that is said for some reason.
Mm.
There's some conditioning in that. Does that make sense? And to me, it does. Everything that you say has sense to it. Whether I can make it or not, it doesn't matter. If it makes sense, and it's like, oh, how do I apply it? If it doesn't make sense, I say, how do I apply it?
Yeah, I
How
think
can I?
it's just putting into actually verbal words what I'm actually thinking. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
yeah.
God. Me too, my man. Me too. It's like, it's like my mental mind gets in the way saying, oh, that's got to make sense. Not really. Just because my mind can't make sense of it just means I haven't opened my imagination to it enough yet.
It's a good one, Jesse.
Because my thinking mental mind only knows the past, only knows what's been. And so if it doesn't make sense, it's showing something that's coming, that's new, that's potential.
Mm-hmm.
And hell no, that's not going to make sense.
I find that I don't want it to make
Right,
sense.
that too.
Because it's really powerful when it doesn't.
So I want to share like when we went into that silence and explored what's there and I just find it so much deeper when it's with others. So I share like our experience that you helped me shape is when we went into asking like, oh, what is it that our heart wants, right? Why are we here? Why am I here? Right. And what I noticed at first was I couldn't get anywhere. It was like I was bouncing off of the going any deeper. It's like, oh, why couldn't I? Right? Why couldn't I? And so it's like I get the picture. So it's like I get myself bouncing off this thing. I'm bouncing off of this and I'm trying to go deeper. And so it has me ask, well, is it mine? Is it ours? Or is it theirs? Right? Because something's got a boundary in it. And it got both, right? It went both. Okay. So when I went both, boom, I was able to get through it. So we went deeper. Yeah, and what I saw was like in front of, leading, talking to, sharing with a bunch of people listening, right? Just big groups, right? Big things, big groups, big audiences. Now, nothing clear. It's just that was a feeling that I got with it. And it was like, oh, so what was, and it was like, so was that leading? No. And it was like, and then I got the picture. It's like, you're just dropping breadcrumbs. So we're lost. Yes, you're lost. They're lost. Just wherever you're going, you're dropping breadcrumbs. Oh, how interesting is that?
Is that so you can find your way back?
I thought about that, right? It was like, and it was like that. So I had that thought of it. It was like, was it for that? And it was like, no, it was like that. So that is where so those that are coming know where to go. No, that was the answer to it. It wasn't so that I would go back. But what it did have me look at was like I was spending more time where I was placing it looking backwards rather than looking forward and just dropping it. So
yeah, interesting.
So I think it means the same. It kind of means the same thing.
Yeah.
Which, yes, I would believe that 100%. I can resonate with that one deep.
Yeah.
So that was my experience of the silence. What showed up in your silence?
Just listening to you just now gave me a spinal flash. So that's good.
I don't know is that your like indication of truth? Is that?
Well, it's one of them. It's like, oh, this is a nice little zap. there's well, it's kind of truth, and it's kind of something. This is something that's going to expand in me. It's just like that. It's just because I carry a lot of these around every day. And they just they just kind of cook on the back burner. Some of them for months, some of them for a couple hours, some for a couple days. And I noticed I noticed you said this too about how do I apply it? How do I apply it? And that whole applying it thing for me is that some things are applied right away, and some things aren't. And I'm okay with that too.
I mean, you think of it, it's, sometimes there's established tree that's already bearing fruit, right? Sometimes it's not fruit time, and sometimes you're just a seed that's in the ground that you can't see nothing with. It's like they're all of those.
Right. And the seeds, sometimes those seeds are just come through me to plant. And after that, I don't really have that much to do with it anymore. Yeah, which is fine too.
Or that it's like, it's like that's even farther down there that it'll come full circle.
Yeah. A lot of things came through me that I had that I thought when they came in that it was my thing to actually manifest them. And when I look back over all those experiences, it's a lot of them were manifested later without my direct participation. And I know that's going to be true in the future too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that role. I'm okay being the conceiver of things, and the portal by which things come into the 3D. I'm good with that.
I want to ask you something, Jesse. You were a magnetic mind coach. Well, have you done the certification?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you do one-to-one coaching?
I do. I don't really. But yes, I will. I will do it.
Because I was thinking of booking some one-to-one sessions with someone, but I'm trying to find the right coach. Yeah.
Love to. I'll do it for free.
Oh no, I would pay you. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't expect it for free.
I don't accept payment, so you'll have to find someone else in. I can point you to them if you'd like. Well, let me ask you this: what is it that what are you looking to get out of it?
I think just I don't know. Just so I feel like there's just some generational stuff in. Like when you watch the episodes of Chris, and he's like that he has one-to-one clients, and he found out like there was 7 generations ago, and there was some family members got murdered, and then it got passed down the line of why they're struggling financially. I just feel like there's some generational stuff there, like that's been passed down.
Would you say it's associated with love?
I feel like there's one with love and one with health.
Mhm.
Um,
I would recommend Mona and Annette for the timeline. They do. You've been in this work long enough. They'll do a timeline. Uh, uh, I would say you're ready. They'll make the assessment of whether you're ready, but I think you've been around it long enough that you can handle it.
do I know Ramona and Annette? I don't know if I
Mhm.
know them.
Uh, you may not. Mona's been back she's been back for a couple of weeks now. They were with us from the very beginning. They're both they've been in the magnetic mind. Mona's a magnetic mind coach. Um, but they would know you. Yeah. Mona Lynn Walker. She goes by a couple different names, but they do a timeline. It's a modified. It's kind of a 3-chair double bubble recode, if you will. It's quite powerful, and it's really for the generations. How would you like me to? They're in the chat group too. They're in the Mona's in the heart centered group.
I love a feeling to it. I feel more comfortable with you.
What's that?
To be
What's
honest.
that?
I feel more comfortable. I feel more comfortable with you because
Okay,
I know you more.
you got it.
Is Mona the lady that comes on the chat sometimes in America?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I've been through the process, been through it a couple of times. I know it well enough to do it. But I honor them for the ones introducing it to me. Because it was that it so I'll give you a little background on what it did. I went to the beginning of my existence. To the beginning, it was as close to I could tell to the beginning of time here. It had to have been Earth, may not have been, but it was from the very beginning of what we love, what I loved, of love, of the, and so it was like the beginning of that moment of love. And then if you think about it, like that moment of love shows up everywhere in every lifetime of every moment since then. Now it took a long time to get back to it. And then you just notice things along the way. But once you get to that point, sometimes you can get there, sometimes you can't. But it just, when I did, it like released everything else along the way.
Yeah, I'm feeling it because I feel like there is something there around love and something around health.
Yeah.
Because something came to me, I was just sitting in meditation, and on my mum's side, they don't have lipodystrophy like me, but my mum's mum had ataxia. It's genetic, and it comes out in your 40s, and it basically you can't walk, you can't talk, it disables you. But it doesn't come out to your 40s. My nan had it, my uncle's got it, and then my nan's dad had it, so it runs down my mum's side of the family. So I feel like there's something there around that. Even though it's a different health condition, I feel like there's something there around on my mum's side around health. Like that, it just popped into my mind.
You want to here, look, the live stream's on private today, so it's not live. Today's a good day if we wanted to swing around it and see what's at the surface. So in a way, it's like this could be the beginning of a session if you wanted to.
if you don't mind. I just
Not at
really
all.
feel like there's some there. And you were right about the love as well when you said love. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were right.
So let's just you're familiar with the three chair, right? The three chair process for magnetic mind.
I can't remember.
All right. So what we're going to do is you're going to assume three selves. So you're going to be yourself, your world, like as your experience today. You're going to be in a chair. You're going to have a meeting. We do this process when there's a relationship, right? There's a dysfunction with a relationship to something, right? And so you'll be sitting in a chair, another chair's facing you. You're imagining all of this, and then that relationship's going to come and sit down in that chair. Yeah. And you're going to have a conversation. I'm going to facilitate it, and you're going to tell me all about your meeting with this relationship. So between the two of them, think of like, oh, what would you want to put in that chair? And just tell me when it comes to you as I. And so you'll talk about that relationship, right? And then what you'll do is you'll get out, you'll leave that chair, you'll float up, and you'll come down as that other relation, that other side of the relationship. Yeah. So you'll come down as that. You'll be that. You'll breathe that. You'll be that other entity, that other person, and you'll be having a meeting with yourself then, right? It's like it's almost as if the physical version of you is energetically having a conversation. Yeah. And so you experience the other side of it. And then what we do is we leave both of those, and you come up as your higher self, as your consciousness, as all of it. And you viewed it like you'll come from that perspective, knowing what's different, seeing what's different, and sharing with both of them what's different. And so that whatever the relationship is resolved is not really a good word for it, but it's you share information that both parties, both sides need to know.
So when you say the relationship, is that like my inner child, and it could be like a grandparent, or is it? I don't think I've done this one before.
Okay, good. Usually your inner child's with you. Okay, bye, Craig. Thanks. Yeah, spirit, that's fine. The inner child will be with you in the first chair. And so the relationship, and so you just kind of think about it. It could be a relationship with a grandparent. What I would say is usually if it's that, then there's something to do with love. So what I would say is we either want to put love or health in the chair first.
Well, again, inner child on my nan. That's who was coming to me.
Okay, I'm going to put the inner child in there. That's great. Let's do that.
On my nan. Inner child on my nan.
So two things, inner child and your grandmother.
When you said about the three people, what came to me was the two chairs, my inner child and my nan in the two chairs.
Are you saying your mom?
No, my mum's mum.
Grandma. Okay. Grandmother. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So good. Let's do that. Okay. So how I'll strut it up is it'll be you, your inner child in one chair, and then it'll be your grandmother in the other chair.
Yeah.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just sit back and prepare for this meeting, for this. You're in one chair, you're facing it, and just turn yourself so that you can imagine a chair's in front of you, and you're going to be knee to knee, right? You're going to be real close. You're going to get intimate with this conversation. So just aware of who you are. It's your inner child, right? It's your life. It's been your experience. It's just who you are today in your presence, full presence. And do I have permission to go as far, as deep as we need to today? As just as safe for you? Thank you. honor it just in full service. Good. We'll just bring forth. So what we're going to look at is anticipating for this meeting with your grandmother. What does it feel like? What's there for you?
What I don't know why this is coming to me, but sexual abuse. Something around sexual abuse.
Okay. Anything
Her
else?
dad. Just her dad. I don't know, I'm getting some
Okay.
sexual abuse of her dad.
Just put that in a bin. That will be appropriately, carefully, and successfully addressed, treated, and released today. We get a yeah. We get a yes on that. Good. Anything else? Like as you're sitting and anticipating for this energy.
Just something around love from her father and sex.
Good. Do you need to be in the chair, or is it do two other people need, does something else need to be in? Does the grandmother and father need to be in the chair and you just guide it?
Yeah.
Good. I'll help you guide it. Let's do that. That's what it feels like to me too.
My nan's very angry at her dad.
Good. Good. So just have them sit in two chairs facing each other and address her first. It's like, yes, please share, let out, release all of the anger you have at your dad. And just be aware for you can to observe what's showing up for her, through her, because it's carried through to you.
This is really random and I don't know if it's true, but I'm getting the word normalized. Her dad sexually abused her was normalized.
Mm.
And there's some around fear around love because her dad used to sexually abuse her.
Yeah.
There's a fear of intimacy and love around. And I'm getting that her mum knew and it was normalized, but it wasn't spoken about.
Hidden. Oof. So we're just letting all of that out. We're just kind of letting it safely into the light for the first time.
And that she didn't tell anyone, she just kept it to herself.
Yes. And you can see what that does to love, what that does to health, what that does to a child. Yeah.
Distorted view of love I'm getting.
Mm.
Because her dad used to say he's raping her because he loves her.
Yes. Yes. We know the true meaning of love and we know what that meaning is. Yeah, we can replace them with the new meaning, with a different meaning, with a different, so that there's peace all the way through the relationship, peace, generational peace all the way through, forwards and backwards. Please let this be, put this in the boundary, put this in the box and allow this to be the end of it with the awareness, with the release. Hmm. Invite your grandmother to release all, or let out and speak anything that she wants, however she would like. Just give her that space and freedom to do that, as if she's finally telling her dad when she knows, when she's well enough. So they're taking you to the beginning of it, back generational, back to the beginning of it. So just now, this is a timeline. So take their hands and just allow them to see now they're out of this. Good. So imagine that you're just going back in time. So imagine, Ian, that you're growing yourself younger and younger. They're holding your hands. They're taking you with them. They're leading you. Now just count yourself backwards. To imagine you're 10 years old. And the whole family's supporting you. Now, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You're 3 years old. Just notice the events that are going on. 3, 2, 1 years old. A 1-year-old baby, 1 year of this world. Now let's go to months. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Well, it's threes again. Got it. Thank you. Just tag and treat it. Well, just remember, imagine that first moment of birth, just as you came out. Whew. It's like that first breath in. What you know is love. Just take that deep breath in of love and peace and joy as now, that you know today. All parts there, good. All parts, child's, inner child's. All right. Are they still with you?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go into birth. Go back through birth and just back into the stomach, back into your mom, back as part of one, connected, the umbilical cord all the way through. Good. So trimester 3, 2, 1 trimester. 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, 0 months, conception. Just imagine yourself at conception. The energy's coming together, part of your mom, part of your dad. They're all in that too. They've joined. There we go. And now that you've gone this line in this preconceived, in this perception, you can see it all. You can see the lines. You can see the energetics. You can see the energies. And now you can move anywhere. Just ask, where do you need to go? Where do they need to take you? Imagine yourself there. What are you seeing around it? What are they showing you? What are they revealing?
I'm just getting a wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Just feel it. Don't need to know all the specifics. It's fine. It's just to imagine what's the energies, the feeling, the sensations, the choices, right?
I'm getting my dad's side because I know my dad's side is Jewish. My nan was Jewish. I'm just getting fear.
Yeah. You just say that everything works out. Everything turns out. Everything works out. Just whisper in this little child's ear. Take their hand. Ask them to join you. We're going to go farther back. Anyone here in this want to join? Hmm.
I'm just getting it wasn't my mum's mum, it was my dad's mum.
Good. And what's in the relation? What's the balance? What's the block in between who?
I'm just getting a man, but I don't know who he is. I think her dad, I'm not sure, her uncle, I'm not sure. I'm just getting a man.
Got it. It's fine. What needs to be stopped? What needs to be said?
I'm just getting sexual abuse. I don't know why, it's just come in. And I was just getting a word, love's not safe.
Yes. That's right. That perspective is not. Can you provide? Can you help? Can you help show a different perspective of love? Name it what that is. That's, and say, share with, give the experience of your best love. And just put it, replace it, fill that void, that space, that relationship with the love that you know, that you've experienced, to your knowledge. We're going to take that old definition out. We're going to take that old definition out. It's an old contract. So just imagine that contract, have them all look at this contract. All parts, do they agree to get rid of it? Yeah. Oh man, good. Whatever you need to do, let's burn it. Let's burn this contract. Burn this definition. Burn this experience. Releasing it all the way through as far back as we need to. Yeah, just to there. Okay.
I'm just getting the word love hurts.
That's right. Put love hurts on that contract. Yeah. And all the blocks that are associated with that love and that connection, that definition of love. Can we bring in a reality that where love is joyful? Replace that. Abuse hurts. There we go. Let's put abuse. Abuse hurts. That was not love. That's abuse. Name it for what it is.
But I'm getting she's associating love with abuse. It's entangled.
Yeah.
Because it's a father, so she's associating abuse with love.
Yep. That was a way of loving. That's a way only. That's a conditioned way, right? So we just release that contract so that release that contract. They don't have to go together, right? Inner childs are talking, inner childs getting together, kneeling down, sharing the information.
I'm just getting that her father abusing her sexually and saying that it's love. So it's like abuse and love go hand in hand, go hand in hand.
Yep. You can see this pattern. So you can see it playing out. What does this pattern need to be resolved, to be complete, to be done?
He needs to forgive her father.
Good. Can she? Will she? Can you help her?
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do that, to be done with it, to heal it, and then replace it with replace it with something more useful, better. Something that will heal. There we go. Heal all inner childs, all past, present, and future, connected, intertangled,
Okay.
entwined. Go ahead.
I'm getting a word that love is sex.
Yep. Definitely can be associated with that, right? The physical doesn't have to be either. We know that.
It's something to do with a father sexual abuse, so something love is sex. And it's got really distorted.
Yes.
My father loves me and he's sexually abusing me, so sex is love. Subconsciously in her mind, it's something subconscious that she developed as a child.
Yep.
My father's saying raping me is love, so love means sex.
Yeah, she knows the truth of that.
And
Let's
that
go
love
back.
isn't safe.
Yep. Yep. We'll go back to Father. Let's go to the Father. Let's follow the Father back. Where did that pattern come from? Where did that belief come from? Where did that the whole history, just line that whole history, smooth it out, giving a new message, a true message. The child, the healthy, a healthy, loving child parent relationship, true love, true caring, true safety. Healthy cycle all the way through generation after generation after generation. We're conscious, yeah, just go as far back and untangle and unwind it, replacing.
I'm getting away 20 generations. We go quite far back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine what choice was there and what it was made as? And so if we can go there and just see the choice differently, see that position, that time, that timing differently, and allow them to make a different choice there.
I'm just getting that my nan passed the trauma on to my dad in the womb. Because she had blocked energy in her womb around
Yep.
sexual abuse.
Yep. And you have that, and can you unlock it? Can you release it? Can you uncharge it?
Yes.
Good. And what would you replace it with? What words, what phrase would have you replace it that would heal? Heal. See the healing. Love heals. See how love heals. Love heals. Good. Just the whole opposite, just the whole other side of that whole pattern. Build it up, build it up. What words replace this contract?
I'm just getting hope for the future.
What hope? Just hold that hope and just see that hope for the future. All the desires, all the dreams, all the wishes, all the wants, all the couldn't have. Superconscious, just line up all of that. All the definitions, valid, invalid, harmful, hurtful, unhealthy, dis-ease, fear. Bring all personalities, all parts, all attachments, all safety into it. all generations that want to release this, want to let go of it. This whole family contract to the deepest, safest level. Now, as this tell them it ends with you, Ian. No longer will we be carrying this. You need everyone's help to let it go. Your choice to continue it or let it go.
Let it go.
As you say those words, just imagine all of that being let go in your inner child, joyful way. Never to return again. That left behind, released, disappear. Just to imagine, is everything, anything else to take care of, anything else to address?
And just know where to love is safe.
Good. So write that, write those, that's the new contract, okay? Love is safe. Have everyone sign it that wants to sign it. All through the history, all down that line. It's like just pass that energy, pass that light, pass that love. Love is safe. Pass that message. And just imagine that message hits and fills in those fear, that darkness, that void. That love is safe. Just have that energize all beings. There we go. True love. And love is safe. And just all the experiences that love is safe. And how would you show love is safe with everyone here?
Allow myself to be loved. Stop
Agreed.
blocking love.
Good, good. So everyone has come behind you. Everyone has come. They've given you you're hugging, yeah, like hugs. True love, embracing, sharing. They're giving you their wisdom they have now.
Open my heart to love is the words that come in.
Good. Love is safe. So open your heart to love. Just write this in your heart, through your heart. Take this with you. Their message to you.
Okay,
no
and
longer-
I've been pushing.
No longer your burden.
Okay, and I've been pushing love away because of this stuff that's come up.
Yep.
Safety. It's something around safety.
Yep. Yeah, it's not safe to love. And now it's safe to love. Just seen it. It's safe to love. Love is safe.
I'm just getting my nan loved her father and it wasn't safe.
Yeah.
wasn't safe I wasn't safe at home.
No, it wasn't.
And I'm just getting a lot of sexual abuse.
Yep.
I'm just getting a word thank you for releasing. I'm getting thank you for releasing. Thank you for releasing me. And the chains of the past have been lifted.
Mm. They're all free to move with you, through you, forward with you now. In love, through love, in support of love.
There's something still there around sex is love. It's come back up. It's like there's still a remnants there, like a little bit of something there.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bit of the trees still there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the word pain. Feeling out of pain.
Yeah.
Emotional and physical. The pain needs to be released. That's what I'm getting.
Yes. Yeah.
The pain of the past. That's what's coming.
Yeah. Just drop that at the bottom of the ocean into the depths of the abyss, knowing the lessons are there. The lessons to not, yes, the lessons are there.
I'm getting my health is somehow related to love. Because if I'm not healthy, I won't find love.
Yeah. See, that love has to hurt.
It's coming from both sides. It's coming from both my mom and my dad's side about love. I'm seeing two timelines, like one of my mom's and one of my dad's. And that's why it's been so ingrained in me, because it's from both generations on both sides. And getting on my mum's side, money is love. For some reason, money is love. The more material stuff you give me, the more you love me.
Hmm.
I'm getting a lot of materialism on my mum's side. If you love me, you'll work hard and provide for me. And I'm getting like this plague of poverty on my mum's side.
Yeah.
You don't love me because you're not providing for me.
Hmm.
And I'm just seeing on my mum's side, like generations back, like really poor. And prostitution, getting around. We need to feed our kids, so. And I'm getting the 18th century. I don't know why, it's just going the 18th century and prostitution to get money to feed the children.
Yeah.
And if I love my children, I'll sacrifice my body to provide for them.
Yeah.
Somewhere around love and poverty go hand in hand.
Hmm.
There's some sort of link of love and money.
Who's hearing it? Who's seeing it?
I'm getting my nan times 5. So
Hmm.
my great. No.
Yeah. A child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In around, she's seeing her mum sell her body full of food. And
Yeah.
she's associated. She's also associating sex with love. I'm getting.
Mm-hmm. Can be confusing, huh?
And some around appearance, around being free enough to get paid for sex. There's some around appearance as well. The prettier you are, the more wealth you have. And it's linked to the prettier you are, the more men want to pay you for sex. And I'm getting a coal mine's like a mine. You know, like digging coal.
Hmm. What truth needs to be known here or shared, revealed? What needs to be seen?
Something around love and looks, being
Hmm.
attractive.
Mhm. And money, huh?
Yeah, money, looks, and love. Money equals love.
Hmm.
Looks equals love.
Mhm. Equals safety.
You show love by providing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's around materialism and looks and
Yep.
needing to be attractive. I'm getting men don't love you if you're ugly.
Hmm. We know that that's not true, right? It's just a belief. Just a belief that's there.
Yeah.
No longer needed, no longer hold on to awareness, allows it to disappear, to be gone, to be let go of.
I'm just getting that belief from my mum.
Hmm.
Around needing to be attractive.
Yeah.
To get love.
Hmm.
And it's also in my sister. I'm getting.
Mhm.
It's on the female line.
Hmm.
But there's also a little bit in me.
Yeah.
I'm just getting love should come from the heart, not from appearance.
Hmm. Good. Not from anything else, not from anywhere else. It's just from the heart. Love from the heart. That is a nugget of gold.
But I'm getting they haven't experienced that because they haven't lived from the heart.
Yes. Good.
They've been more concerned with appearance and money,
Yeah.
materialism.
That is the gift you can give them.
I'm getting though it's a survival tactic that's
Yeah.
been passed down.
Yep. Yep.
You need to do that to survive.
Yep.
To survive poverty, I
Yes.
think, yeah.
Hmm. So as we come back, what are you going to take with you? What are you going to leave behind?
That looks equal love.
That equals money, that equals safety, right? All of those equals, all those entanglements, all that entrapment. They're all individual. They're all on their own. They all stand separately. Just disentangle them, unentangle them.
I'm getting that's why I've had past issues with my appearance, because it's generational about not being attractive enough to get love.
What is it? What is it that this wants? What is wanted in this whole line? What is really wanted?
Survival. I'm getting something around survival.
Mm-hmm.
Unconditionally loved.
There we go. I think that was what I was getting. So it's survival and then love. So it's like, oh, if we can be loved, that would trump survival. Unconditional love.
I'm getting unconditional love for self as well.
Can you give this pattern? Can you feed this pattern? Can you give, have, be unconditional love?
Yes.
Yeah. Does that end these patterns?
Yes. If I unconditional love from my heart, if I love myself from the heart, that's what needs to be done to end it.
There we go. Just allow that ripple. So as you stand in it, you hold it, you are that unconditional love. Just allow that to ripple through all the lines, all the timelines, all of the lineages. Just shake that old one loose and replace it with unconditional love.
My unconditional love for myself will,
Yes. Yes.
and allowing myself to be loved will end it.
Gather all that unconditional love there, that feeling, that knowing it, that certainty, that truth of it, and all the unconditional love that everyone had shared and given with you, just in the wisdom that they've shared, right? That is, they gave that unconditionally with love so that you didn't have to continue it, that you could end it, so that that line, that family can be done with it, so that there is then hope for the future.
And going there will also end for my sister if I
embrace it, share it. Yeah, you guys, there's a bond, a specialness in that. Yeah, it's like unconditional together.
and I'm getting I should go and see my sister. I haven't really spoken a few years, but I'm getting that I should show her love and love.
Oh, Grab all that learning, wisdom, lessons, feelings, emotions, dropping the patterns, taking everything that you want with you, leaving everything else behind, and leave that lineage and come back into the merging of you, your conception, your moment. Mom and dad joined. Boom. Move through the trimesters, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. Just now you're ready to come out and face this world. Now you have this new learning, this new opportunity, seeing this world differently as you come out. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Out.
And getting the see the love.
And imagine seeing it just as you open your eyes for the first time. And grow yourself out from that first newborn into the first month. Sorry, first day, week, month, 12 months, 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to the present day. Where you find yourself now, back in today, in this moment, with this new wisdom, this new learning, this unconditional love, these new contracts, letting go of the old. And just take it in what it looks like today, now, from this vantage point, this perspective of unconditional love.
Feel like I'm floating. Oof.
Well, what are you going to do for yourself today?
Just get and love myself, be the love. Show myself love. Give myself the love
Yeah.
that I'm looking for from outside. Stop fearing love. It's safe to love and it's safe to be loved.
Yes.
Feel like there's a block being removed around allowing love in. Because of fear around love.
Yep.
Like a wall.
a lot of work.
Like a root's been pulled up. That's a metaphor I'm getting, like a plant and the root's been pulled up.
Yes, so good.
Before I was just cutting the weeds, but now it's like the roots come up.
Yeah.
Because I was only cutting the weeds, it kept going back.
Yep. They sure do. Got to get deep. Got to go deep enough.
It was
We can't.
ancestral, that's right.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing when we see how much influence they have on us. Yeah.
It was the ancestral part that was, yeah.
Yeah. Was that your first experience with the ancestral line?
Yeah.
And what's awesome is that channel is always available now.
I did feel like there was something there though, so that's why I said, because I could really feel it around ancestors.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that to come out though.
No, we never. That's the beauty of it. We never do. But it's there. It's like they're ready for when we're ready.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Their lessons are there. It's like they're there. They've learned it, and now they want to make right what they did. They need us to help them do that.
And I feel like it was so deep because it was on both sides.
Yeah.
Coming from both sides, not just one.
Yep. Yep.
I felt really floaty during it, so yeah, definitely left my body. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ian. I'm honored. So thank you for. I love that process. Yeah, I love it. And what else is like you led it. Yeah, it's like you had it. You had all of it there. It was like your experience of it, all through you, man. That's the uniqueness. That's the genius. That's your
It does
skill.
might make sense because in my younger years, I used to think sex was love. It was like a belief I had when I was like in my 20s.
Yep.
So yeah, it makes sense. It's passed down.
Yep. Yep. It is what we want. We're just going at it the wrong way, with the wrong lens, with a distorted perception of it. And then we're like, why isn't that right? Why doesn't that feel right? Why isn't it like, what's empty in that? And now we can see it's like, oh, that's the belief that's been driving the emptiness.
Thank you for going over time.
Oh man, my pleasure. Thank you for your trust to do so. Well, have a great day today, tomorrow, and until the next time that I see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm sorry, what did you ask?
Oh, nothing. I just said thank you.
Yes, my pleasure.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, and thank you. Have a great day. You're welcome. Thank you.